1, 2, 3. Last night I said these words to my girl. I know you never even try, girl. Come on, 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 come on. Please, please me, oh yeah, like I please you. You don't need me to show the way, love. Why do I always have to say love? Come on, 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 come on. Please, please me, oh yeah, like I please you. In my heart, you, oh yeah, what you made me do. Last night I said these words to my girl. I know you never even try, girl. Come on, 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 come on. Please, please me, oh yeah, like I please you. Oh yeah, like I please you. Oh yeah, like I please you.
This is One Foot in the Groove on BBC Radio Norfolk with Thordis Fredrickson. Marvellous.
And it's a bit of a different One Foot in the Groove today because I left you before the news and I said I'm putting my coat on, I'm leaving the studio, and I did. I hightailed it down the corridor. I ran up several flights of stairs. Luckily I had the news and the sport to gather myself and get my breath back because I'm not very fit, and left the comfort of my swivelly chair behind me. You probably can't hear, but I'm actually outside now and I can see the castle, I can see St Peter Mancroft, the rooftops and treetops of Norwich stretching out miles around me, and there's a very special reason why I'm up here, and I'm not alone. David Clayton, my editor's here. You've organised something which is to mark 50 years of a very special occasion that some people might have forgotten about.
I was far too young and I wasn't even in the area when it happened, but 50 years ago tonight, the Beatles played their only gig in Norwich at the Grosvenor Rooms on Prince of Wales Road. They're no longer there. There's a blue plaque on the wall and it's now an office block, and that was the last and only time the Beatles played Norwich. They came to Norfolk a few times, so 50 years on, it's going to be right, is it not, to commemorate the world's greatest band somehow back in Norwich? The Beatles sadly don't exist now as a playing band, but do you want to say to everyone what's going to happen?
Well, we've got a very small bit of rooftop here, absolutely crowded with people. Some of them are press, but most of them, with all of their instruments, are Sounds Imperial. Bryce, Adrian, Gary and Stephen. Can we have a hello, guys? Hi. And a strum of your instruments. Now, we're going to have some more of that in a second. If you're too young to remember or you weren't there, it was an enormous event, the Beatles playing in Norwich. When they were booked, they were getting big. By the time they played, they had a #1 in the charts, which we'll hear in a minute or two. Yeah. And it was a huge deal. It was a huge deal. They went to the cinema in the afternoon to watch a film before they played in the evening. They did 3 20-minute slots. They went and had fish and chips from Valori's Fish and Chip Shop on Rose Lane. Then they got in a car and went who knows where. And the rest is history. So, Sounds Imperial are going to now be playing live from the rooftop here in the Forum. I'm going to head downstairs and get some reaction from people watching on the ground outside the Forum in the heart of Norwich. So, Sounds Imperial, the first track, I believe, is Please Please Me. Take it away. And I tell you what's bringing the 1960s to Norwich this afternoon are the Sounds Imperial, who are playing live from the rooftop of the Forum here in the middle of Norwich, and crowds of people are gathering because it's really quite loud, and 2 of them are Jamie and Mary, who, rather against their will, I've forced to stop and talk to me. Were you just shopping in Norwich when you heard?
We were, yeah. We were just, in fact, on our way home and got collared by you.
I penned you in.
Yeah, the music drew us up here because I grew up with the Beatles, so you know.
I mean,
Good to hear it.
did you know that the Beatles played in Norwich at all?
No, I didn't. No, I knew they played. Well, I come from Ipswich, and I knew that they played in Ipswich really in the early days.
And the Grosvenor Rooms, does that mean anything to you? Because that's where they played 50 years ago tonight.
Oh, what, in Norwich?
Yeah.
No, because I was in it. My early days were in Ipswich.
You were in the Ipswich equivalent, but you're enjoying it.
Lovely.
We are, and it must be quite chilly up on that roof. I'll take my hat off to them.
I've just been there. It's a bit breezy. You feel a bit closer to the clouds, which are a bit ominous at the moment. But thank you very much, Jamie and Mary. I'm going to have a little foray into the crowds and see if I can find anyone else who looks like they're lapping it up, who looks like they're enjoying it. I'd love to find somebody who actually knew the Grosvenor Rooms, who remembered it. I see people just turn away when I walk towards them. But there's a woman in a purple coat. Hello, live on BBC Radio Norfolk. What's your name?
Sylvia?
Now, you've stopped to take in some of the music. Either that or you just needed to do up your coat. How are you enjoying it?
It's great, it's great.
Do you remember, and you might not be a Norwich person through and through, so you might not remember it, but the Grosvenor Rooms, which used to be on Prince of Wales Road in Norwich?
I do, but it was before my time. My brother and sister would have gone there.
I don't suppose they went to see the Beatles 50 years ago tonight, did they?
No, but my husband, who's older than me, had a ticket.
Really?
And he thought, oh no, I don't think I'll bother. And he gave it away.
No way.
Yes.
Does he regret it to this day?
Yes, I'm sure he does, yes.
Did he have friends who went? Did he hear about what a big gig it was? Because they were getting quite big back then.
Well, I think they were sort of average, as I say. I mean, I think otherwise he would have gone, you know, but he thought, oh no, I think I'll give that one a miss.
And he still got the ticket?
No, because he gave it away.
Oh, so he actually, someone went in his stead?
He gave it away. Yeah, so I did.
So we can't even sell it on an online auction site that we all know very well?
No.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. I hope you enjoy the rest of it. It sounds imperial, in case you wondered.
Oh, yes, I know them.
You know them?
Yes. Well,
They're well known around Norwich. Thank you very much, Sylvie. Have a lovely day. I'll continue wandering over. Hello, lovely people. What are your names? You're live on BBC Radio Norfolk, just to throw that one in there. Who are you?
I'm Rosemary Powell.
And
I'm Roy Powell.
now, do you remember the Beatles playing Norwich 50 years ago today?
No.
We weren't living here then.
Oh, you're foreign.
Yes, yes.
Well, how are you enjoying the music anyway?
Oh, it's lovely.
We're celebrating the Beatles playing 50 years ago. You say it's like the Beatles.
I like the Beatles.
Oh, you like
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
Got all their records?
No, I haven't.
Well, thank you very much. The crowds here are absolutely lapping up the music. It sounds fantastic outside the Forum, and there's a whole stage being constructed down here anyway, so I think it's all going on. I'm going to head back up to the studio in just a moment and play you some more absolutely brilliant hits from 1963. One Foot in the Groove today is taking you back to 1997, just for a bit of contrast, but also a couple more, including another Beatles hit coming up in just a little bit after we hear the latest on the roads.
Whatever you do on a Saturday, do it with BBC Radio Norfolk.
You're listening to BBC Radio Norfolk. It's 2:45. We'll have some news for you in about 15 minutes or so. Travel on the way in 10 minutes. I'm Thordy, sitting in for Stephen Bumfrey. He'll be back on Monday afternoon with some more brilliant music for One Foot in the Groove between 12 and 2. And then after 2, lots of brilliant arts and entertainment, including me, live from the RHS Chelsea Flower Show. But now, on this show, marking or looking back at a moment that happened at 1 o'clock, we had a big surprise here at BBC Radio Norfolk. I left the studio, I put my coat on, and I traversed. Actually, the guys who are in the studio will know what I'm talking about if I say I felt a little bit like I was in a Bond movie in one of those horrible scenes where you're being chased around and there are pipes everywhere and you're sort of, it's a bit dark and someone's going to shoot at you. It's a little bit what I felt like. And I went around and eventually I managed to find myself to the roof, which is where my next guests, Sounds Imperial, were set up with all their instruments. Bryce, Adrian, Gary and Stephen did a marvellous job of marking 50 years since the Beatles played live in Norwich at the Grosvenor Rooms, and now you've had a sandwich and come down to the studio. How was it for you guys?
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah.
If you all just move into your microphones. The thing is, you're so tired from all the excitement, you've all just relaxed back in your chairs. Oh, lay back.
Yes.
So you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was really good fun.
Yeah. Were you nervous? Because it's a little... you can't be seen all that well until you start playing, but once you start playing, everybody in the surrounding area gravitates towards the foot of the wall to look up at you.
I think the only nerves really were because it was such a surprise, we weren't really able to go through the proper sound check and everything that we would normally do. So it was a case of, switch everything on and hope it works, which luckily it did. And, we were pleased. We were.
Is that not how the Beatles used to do it, Bryson?
Well, I think it is, yeah. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So authentic.
Well, Sounds Imperial, one of you tell us a little bit about the band, how long you've been together.
Gary and I started about 20. This is our 28th year.
28?
Yeah.
You don't look old enough.
I know. So, we started playing around village halls, things like that. Bryce joined us 23 years ago, and Stephen was with us. He was with us 25 years ago.
Cool, so you're still the rookie then,
for a couple
the
of
newbie.
years.
That's right, yeah.
And then he left, and then joined us again 10 years ago. So we're same lineup now for 10 years.
Now, you did a brilliant rendition of the Beatles numbers, so are they often in your set?
That's always part of it, I suppose. We always do a few Beatles songs, but we do 60s to 80s, 90s, anything really. But I mean, some of them songs we haven't done probably for 20 years, so we had to just brush them off again, sort of have a little run through, and then do them again. So yeah, it's nice to do them.
Because David Clayton, our editor here at BBC Radio Norfolk, who organised it, because he's a big Beatles fan and he loves all the music, so he put it together, and he said that you did a big favour for us, not only by being there, but also by learning Get Back, which I don't think was one that you necessarily...
No, that's probably the only one that we've never done.
Yeah, it's the first time I think we've ever played it in our life, really.
So how long did it take you to get that one together?
Well, the funny thing is, with Beatles songs, you always find that they're so easy to learn because they're so melodic, and you already half know them anyway.
Well, there is that, I suppose.
Yes,
You're all familiar.
So,
yeah,
familiar with the songs.
It's just around you all the time. And for us, basically, they are the gods of popular music.
And the reason you had to play Get Back, not only because it's brilliant, is the whole idea of you being up there was to recreate as much as possible the set that you think, or some of the music, that they would have played when they were at the Grosvenor Rooms. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Well, I think today's event was of a combination of two events which took place. Obviously, the Beatles played in Norwich 50 years ago, but the last time they actually done a public performance together was on the roof of the Abbey Road Studios, 1969, I believe. And it was a pretty spontaneous event for them as well, I believe, and they just got up there and done it. And I think the first song that they done in their playlist was Get Back, so obviously that was one what we had to do. So yeah, and then it was just a case of whatever else we could do from our set, and stuff which was easy enough to learn within the time scale, really. So.
But you did a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
Was it any different playing up on the Forum roof to your normal performances?
Oh, yeah,
did it create any problems with a bit of wind, threat of rain?
It's the tallest stage I think any of us have played on in our lives, isn't it? It was me anyway.
It was just a new experience, something completely different. I mean, we do village halls, theatres, holiday camps, all these various different venues. We do them, virtually every week of the year. But this is something that, well, in my lifetime in the band, 23 years, that's something that I've only done just this once, and that is a great experience for us.
So you can add rooftops to your list of locations performed in now.
Yes, that's another one we can put on our specification list. Yeah.
Well, if people want a bit of Sounds Imperial at their event, how can they get hold of you, and can they book you?
Yes, well, we're available. We're available for all sorts of different functions. We have a very basic website which we're still working on at the moment. Mainly, dare I say it, Facebook is probably our best point of contact, and then we do have telephone numbers and stuff like that, which.
So people can find you on Facebook if they want a bit of that they heard in the heart of Norwich earlier. They can book it on Facebook.
Exactly, or Google us. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Sounds Imperial, Bryce, Adrian, Gary, Stephen, thank you so much. It was so much fun to go up onto the roof of the Forum and get that whole feeling of what it would have been like. Combining the last time they played on the roof of that building.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a great experience.
Thank you. Bit of Billy Ocean now, who I believe you've seen performing.
Yes, yeah, he was at Potts a few weeks ago. I was lucky enough to go and see him as a birthday treat. That was a great night.
He's supposed to be absolutely lovely.
Fantastic.
Well, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, so bye.
Lovely.